Hello, my name is Amy Chu, and I'll be presenting our project for modern biomedical technologies. Our project is a belt adapter for bilateral upper extremity amputees, and it was completed by myself, Camden Smith, and Sha'Corya Wilson. So we wanted to begin with our problem statement and the reason why we chose to do this project in the first place. And it's because upper extremity amputees, whether that's unilateral or bilateral, experience challenges and frustrations in the rehabilitation process. We also found a study conducted to explore the satisfaction of daily activities performance, showing roughly 25% of participants were satisfied, while the rest were dissatisfied and looking for new coping mechanisms for their daily activities, such as zippering jackets, buttoning shirts, putting a belt on, getting their clothes on is one of the biggest challenges. And with that in mind, we established our goal, which was to create a device to help ease the frustration and challenges in daily activity of using a belt. So as we started our modeling and prototyping, we took into consideration certain constraints. The first and most important is that our system is only designed for pants with belt loops and using mechanical belts. It is not as sturdy as we would like it to be, but removing the buckle really makes it easier to use and much more accessible. Additional constraints is we wanted our final design to be very cost friendly and designed for limited space. So as we started our prototyping, our first prototype consisted of a spool mechanism. What we can observe here is how the belt would look in the end. We have certain hooks attached to make it easier to hook it onto the pants and then to the spool mechanism. Then we have the actual spool, and this is the person. The idea is to have the person spin into the spool as they are removing it, so the belt would curl around it, and we would use the least amount of space possible. And they would spin against the spool, so they would pull it out, and it'll curl around their waist as they keep walking. So um, as we started building it, we realized that we were having issues with how to keep the tension in the spool and the mechanism for the next time that they decided to use it, and we decided to go into a second prototype. So our second and final prototype consisted of a two-pulley mechanism. We also removed the eye that was attached to the pants to make it more comfortable, and now the belt hook will attach directly to the pant loop. We kept the initial spin along the mechanism design idea and incorporated the use of lower extremities. It is accessible and reduced spaces, it has a low overall cost, and it can also be attached to any wall or furniture, which makes it really easy to incorporate into any space. As we can see here, we have our two pulleys, we have our belt, and it's being attached to a hook. We have the support here that is meant to take most of the weight of the belt, and it also keeps it in its place after the user removes it, and our foot attachment to make it easy to maneuver wherever the user needs to get the belt to. So they will hook their foot onto this elastic, and this will go up to the pulleys, and it will pull or release the belt as needed. This is an actual image of our final system. All the materials were really easy to find. You can purchase them from any craft or hardware store. It is very low cost. The overall mechanism total cost was under $20, and the mechanical belt average cost is around $13. That'll be up to the user's preference. So our total cost comes up to around $35. Some of the materials we used were the two pulley systems, hooks, elastic, and tape. This is the belt we used, and here we have one pulley, the other pulley. This is an elastic attached to the belt. It goes down following the bed frame, and right here we have our foot attachment. So as we can observe, the system starts by hooking the belt onto the pant loop. It does take a little bit of adjustment, but once we're at that point, the tension in the elastic is enough to pop the mechanism into place. We find a hook at the other end where we can place the elastic to unhook it from the belt. And now the belt has been successfully attached. We do have to leave the system, but it is not hard to use overall. Now we wanted to focus on how you actually remove the end of that belt. Very simple to use, easy to leave the system once it's been placed, no use of upper extremity limbs. This is how you remove the belt at the end of the day. Hook it on, it takes it off. You can use the foot attachment to move the belt as needed, as you can see there once you pull on it with your feet. The belt is now placed at a convenient position, or you can place it on the support, and now it's just really easy to unhook from the pants and leave the system. So after the demonstration of our final system, some of our observations are that the mechanism was successful in attaching and removing the belt without the use of upper limbs required. It was overall very low cost and there was a minimum space usage, so our goals were met. The belt sturdiness should be improved if the mechanism is used for other purposes. Assistance will be needed to create the mechanism initially, after which the user should be able to utilize it independently. During testing, it took approximately 1 minute to attach the belt and 1 minute to remove. Using the system might become easier and faster over time. There is a lot of future work that can be accomplished with the system. The mechanism can be used to attach items for multiple purposes, some of which include fanny packs to carry items, or we can create multiple attachments that will allow a leash to be attached to the belt and allow the user to walk animals without any help. Many amputees have service animals as they recover, and this would make users more independent. Improvements include more durable materials, which would indeed increase the cost of the system, and sturdier belts in case force is applied in situations such as the ones mentioned above. Our conclusion for the overall project is that the two-pulley mechanism is easy to create, cost-effective, and user-friendly. The project successfully accomplished the initial goal, which was to help bilateral upper extremity amputees use and remove belts on their own, providing more independence and expanding their opportunities. Belt mechanisms also provide users with additional value, since the system can be used for other devices such as fanny packs, or the belt can have additional attachments to allow users with alternatives for activities such as walking pets. Finally, this is a reference for the research we performed before starting our project. This was to get statistics on why our project is so valuable. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.